Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of In Range. We're back at the 2-gun action challenge match, 1 month after what we did last month. Last month was supposed to be the FAL versus the AKM, and we had the round counts played with so that you had to hit with an intermediate cartridge with 3 rounds and 3 with 2. We're not doing that this month, but we're going to redo that attempt. We got a lot of requests for this. Now the FAL is here. And
the FAL was here last month too, but this month the magazines for the FAL are here.
You can feed the gun.
Yes, which is a clever change in tactic for me.
And so to shift that up a little bit, so we got the FAL and I've got an AK74 done up in the quintessential Soviet Afghan design here. We've got the tourniquet and the bandage there, which actually gives you a nice cheek rest in that 1970s furniture.
Yeah.
So these really are contemporaries.
Yep.
And I'm sure at some point or somewhere they saw conflict against one another.
Oh, all over the place.
Exactly.
All over Africa, that's for sure.
There you go.
Well, more 7.62s in Africa than 5.45s, but
regardless. So that said, we didn't mess with the round counts today. We both have to hit the same amount of targets the same way. But it should give us an interesting idea about how these guns compare to one another. Once again, intermediate versus battle cartridge.
Yep.
You have less ammo, I have more ammo, I have less recoil, you have more power.
Since people will be asking, this is a metric FAL. It's a standard configuration gun from DSA. Nothing special about it.
And this comes up in every video. The match is more about the rifles, but I'm shooting an HK VP9. So when you see the pistol stage, you'll know what I'm using. And a Browning high power. So now we don't have to answer the questions in the comments, because we never say, and I can see why people ask.
Yep.
So we got some interesting stages like always, and stay tuned.
All right, let's go start it off.
Let's do it. Technically this is stage 3, but for us it's our first stage. Shooter begins behind either right or left barrel stack. Rifle loaded, held with one hand on magazine well, at side, pointed down range. Other arms should be relaxed at their side. At buzzer, shooter will engage the target down range, which is a mini Q at about 100 yards, and acquire 2 hits on the target from the barrels in front of them. They will then move to the window and acquire 2 hits on the target through the window. They will then move to the other barrels they did not start at and acquire 2 hits on the target from around the barrels. But here are the shooting requirements. At the right side barrels, shooter must fire the rifle standing, offhand, with their right hand using their right shoulder. This does not mean one-handed. You can use 2 hands, but you're going to be right-handed, right shoulder. Through the windows, freestyle, whatever you want to do. Left barrels, left hand, left shoulder. So it's support side for right-handed on the left side, support-handed for right-handed on the right side. It's only 6 hits. You get 60 seconds. Strong side, freestyle, support side. Any questions? Hit. Right. Right. Hit. 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 All right. Left. Hit. Hit. Stand by. Hit. Right. Low right. Hit. Hit. Right. Hit. Now the fun. Timeout. Clear it? That was embarrassing. Go.
All right, well that was pretty freaking embarrassing.
Was not your best moment.
No, it was one of my worst that I can remember. So I made no hits offhand, or weak side.
So you made 4 hits, got to the support side, and timed out.
Yeah, exactly. I made a lot of misses offhand, strong side, which I can't make any excuses for. I would say that this target was kind of earth tone, a little hard to pick up. The trigger in the FAL is not great, but ultimately the problem was that when the trigger released, the sights weren't on the target. That's
ultimately hitting the target is having your sights on the target when you properly squeeze or press the trigger.
Right.
Right? And that's not what was happening.
Not at all.
I'll tell you, I shot an STG-58 FAL variant at the 2-gun match for a couple months. This is before we started in range.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling it. Not because the rifle wasn't reliable. It was. It was heavy as all hell. This one's lighter than what I had. And, but I just wasn't that good with it. I was never very accurate. Just felt like it was holding me back, to be completely honest. Now, when we did the G3 versus FAL full auto test, I felt the FAL was more controllable. However, I recently shot a G3 variant at the Independence Day match up in Phoenix and did really well with it.
Yeah, you did.
I'm pivoting here. If it's a semi-auto rifle, at this point, I'm tipping my hat to the G3.
Okay.
It seems to be a more accurate gun, and it's just easier to handle. It's more svelte. I'm not going to say the ergonomics are better, because they're not, but it just handles better when you're trying to hit something.
Yeah. Okay. So depending on how the rest of the day goes, I may look into trying to improve the trigger.
Sure.
We'll see.
So this stage, anyway, this goes to show you how simple a stage can be. We have over 70 people at the match today, and that ran fairly smoothly.
Yeah, it did.
But here's the deal. This was a 6-hit requirement stage. There was 2 hits offhand strong side, 2 hits prone, 2 hits support side only from the other side. Now the support side's my left side, it's right for Ian. And so that right there, we looked at the myriad of shooters. Some guys got as low as 16 seconds.
Yep.
I was at 30, which was actually one of the better scores.
Yeah, it was.
Averages were in the 40 to 50s with quite a few par times out.
A handful.
A handful. So, goes to show you, only needing 6 hits. When you're practicing what is a practical shooting skill set, that's all you need to have a really valuable practical stage, right? So, let's move on.
All right.